a little bit about your story and your background, how this whole part of your life and what you're doing now came to be. So I
Yeah.
know that our viewers would love to hear a little bit about your backstory and, maybe a defining moment that really pushed you to take the impetus to start teaching health, holistic health, and
Yeah.
helping guide people to a better, more sustainable lifestyle. So go ahead and share with
Yeah.
everyone just what that is.
Yeah. Well, you know how they say you teach what you need to learn? And at the time, so for when I was struggling with chronic pain, which I do not anymore, I have to say, which is wonderful, it was a decade of my life. And when I arguably should have been in the prime of health, because I was in my early 20s when it began. And at the time, I was working in television in New York City, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk up and down stairs. New York City is all up and down stairs. And
Yeah.
so it was a miserable experience and existence. And I had this amazing job working in television
Uh-huh.
and doing all of these cool things. And I'm young, and I was seeing neurologists and physical therapists and multiple, and I say plural because I kept having to go to a different one because each one wasn't able to help me.
Oh,
They were all kind of stumped. And when they wanted to do exploratory surgery, that's when I was like, yeah, there's something else I'm missing here.
yeah.
And while I was going to all of these specialists, trying to uncover why the heck I felt so much pain, my father died. And he was only 50 years old.
Oh, no.
And if you lined up 100 men, you would never think that that man was going to be the one who suddenly died young without
Yeah.
warning, because he looked perfect on the outside. And it turns out he had severe heart disease that nobody knew about, not even his doctor.
Oh,
And so as I'm going through all of this struggle, and then I'm now depressed and anxious after this, and I'm thinking, this must be early warning signs of something we missed in my dad. And eventually, after I came out of my depressing funk a couple of years later, I had this epiphany that, okay, this isn't right. Something is just not right here. I have to figure this out. And maybe this is why I'm supposed to help people. This is the way that I can honor my dad. Is I've gone through this struggle. He died so young, and he was the most amazing person. Anybody who knew him just absolutely loved him. And when I started finally getting relief and healing myself, I knew, okay, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. And it ultimately led to my career change. That's an abridged version of a very long story.
oh my gosh, I understand that. But the most beautiful part of it is that, and the sad part, but the beauty that came out of it is that you found your why after
Yeah.
your
Oh
father
yeah.
passed. And so I'm sure he's there thinking and looking down on you saying, you go, girl. You're exactly what the world needs right now. Get your message out there. So I'm so
That's
pleased to hear that story. And I know many other people are too, because, you know, becoming an entrepreneur is it's a struggle in its own way. It's hard to balance everything and stay healthy with all the things that you're trying to accomplish. So you're speaking to many entrepreneurs who are looking and exploring the possibility of expanding their own business by creating an online course. And I think that you're going to be able to share with them a little bit about that and how you came to decide to go from just being maybe a coach or a consultant for individuals so that you could leverage your own time and keep yourself more healthy,
yeah.
to, how did you go about it? And tell them a little bit about the course that you created. I know you've got several, but whichever one you
Yeah.
want to really share with them today that you
Yeah.
created and how it might help them.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It began, I was on this healing journey, and I'm still working in television production, and all of my crew, my fellow crew members, noticed that had more energy than everybody else, and I wasn't drinking anything than anybody else was, eating the donuts and all of that. And they're like, what is she on? And it wasn't anything. Well, here's the crazy thing. for all of you listeners out there, I don't know if you've heard of this, but this is what I did. Here was my secret. I found a practitioner who introduced me to this newfangled concept called nutrition. I know, totally crazy. And that's what I did. And that was what I started introducing to others. And it sort of became addicting to everyone else around me. Is like, wow, I can eat nutritious food and my body starts to feel better. And of course, it's not as simple as that, but in a way it kind of is, because that's what our bodies run on, is nutrition. And so it started for me being the unofficial health coach on sets that I worked on and helping people with their high blood pressure and high cholesterol and losing those big bellies and varicose veins for all the camera guys who were standing all day long. And then it became more one-on-one. I opened my practice. And then I knew I wanted to have a baby. I spent all of my 20s sick. I spent all of my 30s rebuilding my life. And now that I was healthy, the older I got, the healthier I got, which is kind of awesome. And going back to school and changing careers. And I was like, wait a minute, what time is it? I want to have a baby still. And so
what time is it?
Yeah, let's go. And I knew that I love working one-on-one, because that's how you can really, I love that intimate relationship I have with my clients. And also I realized that I can find a way to serve so many more people that I couldn't possibly have the time for while getting to be a mom. And so that's why I created my group program. And I figured I had 10 years of being the guinea pig, of trying to figure out why I was in so much pain, how I can stop having migraines, how I can lose the weight and not yo-yo diet. I was a big yo-yo dieter, followed every fad, and I don't want to do that anymore. And so I cherry picked all the things that I learned along the way, what worked for me, what I found was working for others, and put that into my sustainable weight loss for crazy busy women. There's a little bit of me in all of the programs because it's what works. And I say that not that there's only one way. My method is that I'm teaching you to learn more about yourself, how your body works. It's a bioindividual approach. So it's sort of like the science, or the symbiosis between science and food, science and nutrition, your physiology and food. So it's an art, it's a dance. And so I teach you about how the body works, and then you apply that to how your body works. And together we discover what the missing links are, what the root cause is, why you're struggling with this extra weight or this chronic pain, the migraines, the acid reflux, you name it. Does that answer your question?
So for any of you crazy busy women out there, you now have a resource. You definitely have someone that you can turn to for some guidance, so that life doesn't have to be quite so crazy. We know it's going to continue to be busy, but maybe you can bring some balance into your life. Let's move into some of the challenges, however, of creating your own course. What did you learn that you might want to share with our viewers today about that?
Well, you may have gathered that I can talk about this for, how much time do you got? A few days straight. And sometimes I think we get so excited about everything that we know and everything that we've learned. And at first, I packed all of that in. Again, I went through this journey of learning and discovering and healing for over 10 years. That's a lot. And because I have a bio-individual approach, it's not one size fits all. That's a lot of information that can be overwhelming for people. And so because I want this to be universal, I had to learn how to hold back some of the information and make sure that everybody is getting their transformation. That was a huge learning for me.
Hold back so that people can actually get the transformation you want them to have. Yeah, that's, I think, a really important lesson to learn, and hard. I can imagine when you've got 10 years worth of now experience, and working through what works and learning and all that goes into, because I know you went on to get all your certifications, etc. You want to give people everything. And yet to realize, no, that's not healthy either. Then you won't get people to do anything if you give them everything.
It's like drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just overwhelming and will knock you back on your butt, and that's not what we want.
No. All right. So now in Teacher Expertise, your actual chapter is called The Roots of Body Transformation. Can you share with people maybe one tip that you left into that chapter, so you don't give them the whole thing, but just one little nugget that they might like to take home today?
Yeah, well, if you're trying to get to the root cause of whatever your dis-ease is, you have to start paying attention to you. Not what I say, but what your body is saying. And the best way that you can do that is to track it. Have a little tracker where you are taking note of everything that you put in your body, what time you're putting it in your body. How are you feeling? Are you eating while in the car on the way running errands? Are you standing in the kitchen eating a pint of ice cream? Are you working at your desk, or are you sitting at the table with your family enjoying a nice relaxing meal? It all matters. Even if it's not a pint of ice cream, even if you're having the best, most beautiful salad, but you're standing there and eating in a hurry, it can make a difference in how you digest. It can make a difference in how things are processed or not processed in your body. So by tracking, it's the best way to get insight into you and start tapping into, oh, yeah, that doesn't feel right. I thought it was fine. Or, oh, I thought I didn't eat any cheese, but I have been eating a lot of cheese and I've actually been having some trouble in the bathroom. Oh, and so these are things that get revealed when we start tracking them. You can't be expected to remember. You're crazy, busy. You're not going to remember the minutia, but when you write it down, we then can see a pattern over time and go, oh, okay. And there's things to maybe add in or take out, or just interesting, just things to be mindful of.
All right. I think that's an important one. And, I agree with you. When you don't track it, you really don't even recognize what you're doing. It's sort of like blind eating. And then wondering, as you say, well, why am I not getting the results I wanted? But that snacking, mindless snacking, I would call it, is always an issue. So tracking, I think, is real important. And you have something available in your chapter, and that is a special gift that really goes hand in hand with what you were talking about. And the gift is called the Food Sensitivity Diary. So why don't you give them a little more information on why they, first of all, want to buy the book Teacher Expertise, and also make sure they check out your chapter and your free gift.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this Teacher Expertise. So you have 20 entrepreneurs telling you their story, inspiring you with how they came to have their business become so successful. And it's such a variety of experts, which I love. It's really diverse, a diverse group of colleagues and friends that I have. And it's just fascinating, really fascinating and moving stories, and everything from chronic pain and weight loss to running your own practice to starting your own business. And so there's really something for everybody. Because we all have, I think, a lot of interest. It may be something that we do for a living, but we're interested in all of these other things. And so to learn what you glean from all of these other experts, it's fascinating and a really fun read. And my chapter is about food sensitivities, my gift is about food sensitivities, how you can determine if you have food sensitivities. And it turns out that millions of people have them and don't realize. Mm-hmm. So what we want to do is get to the root cause of your disease. And so what this will do is help illuminate what they are, how you can maybe identify what foods might be triggers for you, so you can remove them and remove the underlying inflammation that is causing the discomfort and the dis-ease in your body. And so what my gift will help you do is uncover that in a really simple to follow, easy to track, and digestible way of learning about you and about this phenomenon that is occurring for millions of people. And once they are aware of what their triggers are, how they can free themselves from the pain and the excess weight they've been holding on for so long. So it's sort of like it's your magic pill, if you will.
That's perfect. It's your magic pill. Make sure you pick up Allison's magic pill that you're going to be able to get a link to right in the book. Now, the book has just been released and you can pick it up on Amazon. It's called Teach Your Expertise by Alina Vincent and 20 other authors that really is, as Allison said, shared their stories. And so we want to just sort of wrap things up here, Allison, with, why should they not miss out on this book? You kind of gave it a quick synopsis, but what do you think?
Yeah.
Why should they absolutely go out there and pick it up right now? And what do you think they're going to be able to accomplish as a result of doing that?
This book is aspirational. It's inspirational. If you have ideas or thoughts in the back of your head that you're thinking, oh, I wish I could, I wonder about, I always wanted to, I wonder if it's too late, get this book, because it's going to inspire you to be able to leverage your time and also make these things happen. Bring your dreams into fruition, because these 20 entrepreneurs have all done that, and you can too.
Yes, you can. Thank you so much, Allison, for your brilliance and your enthusiasm and the message that you share with people about you can find balance in a crazy busy life. You can find health and fulfillment. And I just think your story is going to resonate with so many people. So I really want to thank you for being here today. I wonder, do you have any last little tidbits that you want to share, a last word to take home for the audience?
I'd say if you have been struggling for a long time, I feel you. I was you. Do not give up. I know that you may have gone to a handful, if not dozens, of practitioners seeking help. Nothing's working. I promise you that when you start to, as we say in functional medicine, clear the muddy waters, the answers will be revealed, because you are unique. Your body is unique. Everything is connected and all things matter. You can help your body to heal. All you need is a little bit of support and the tools to help it to heal. I hope that's helpful.
So, bottom line, if I were to wrap it up, is clear your muddy waters. So get things clear. All right, Allison, thank you again so much for being here. And thank you all the viewers for being here, whether live or in replay. We would love to hear from you. You have any questions for Allison? Just leave them in the comment area. We'll be sure to get back to you. We appreciate you and the time you spent with us here today. And we'll see you very soon on the next Inspirational Entrepreneurs episode. And until then, have a great day. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Thank you.